Right, today we've got this HP, it's a DV9000. Okay, this particular model, they're very well known for having problems with the graphics card, which is an onboard graphics. Okay, so let's have a look what the customer's complaining about. We power it on, we get a few colors come across the screen. Okay, so as you can see, things are not looking too good. This is most probably the GPU graphics, and we'll take it apart. We'll have a look at the motherboard and make sure all the cables are seated properly, and see if we can come up for a fix. This is most probably going to need re-balling. We'll try a reflow first.
Right, so remove your battery, remove any covers, then remove the hard disk drive. You will remove any screws that you can see. Once all the screws are out, the optical drive, the DVD, will slide out. You may remove the memory, the RAM. Unplug the cables clipped onto the Wi-Fi card, and then screw out the Wi-Fi card. After that, turn it over. The top cover will come off first. It just clips off. There is a ribbon cable connected to that, so be careful. Take out the screws holding in the keyboard. Remove the keyboard. Remove any screws that you see. Unplug the cable going to the screen, and then remove the screen. One screw holding on a little back cover there, and it will clip off. Remove any cables that are connected to the motherboard, including the touchpad and any other screws, and then you should be able to remove the top cover. Remove all screws holding down the motherboard and any cables underneath. There are some cables going to the power jack and to your sound input outputs. Remove that, and the motherboard will come out.
Okay, so we now have the motherboard. So let's get off the heatsink. Unplug your fan. So if you have a look here on the right hand side, all this dust, all this covering, this was blocking the heatsink, so the air was not being exhausted through here and therefore was not cooling down the GPU. Okay, so this GPU is basically this chip right here, and what's happened is it's overheated. So what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to reflow it first. I'm going to remelt all the solder, put it back together, see how it goes, and if we have a problem after that, we have to end up reballing this motherboard. Okay, so let's do that now. Right, so we've wrapped up the motherboard in some aluminium tinfoil, and just cut out an opening here where the GPU is. Okay, so we're going to be heating around here. You don't want to heat any of the other plastic parts. Okay, I've got a few heat sinks on here to help dissipate the heat slowly afterwards. We don't want it heating up too quickly and cooling down too quickly. We don't want the motherboard to warp. Okay, these reflows is not always a guaranteed fix, but it's worth a go. You've got to use a heat gun for this job. Alright, so here we go. So it's got two settings. We're gonna put the first setting and just warm up the whole area, bring everything up to temperature to stop everything from warping. and then we're going to put it on the highest temperature, and we're just going to do the chip and remelt the solder underneath and remake the contact again. Once the board is heated and everything's melted, do not touch it, let it cool down, give it 10 minutes, let it cool down properly. Don't move the board, because the solder will be melted and you don't want to cause any other damage. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so you're going to let that just cool down now. Give it 10 minutes, let it get cold before you put it together. Don't touch it now, you'll burn yourself. Okay, if you like, every 30 seconds, every minute, just give it a short blast of air so that it cools down gradually. Okay, so a little bit of boric silver on your CPU, a little bit on your GPU, your graphics. Okay.
So basically we are going to put the laptop back together in the exact opposite way we took it apart, step by step. Make sure the heat sinks are clean, your fan is plugged in.
Okay, so before we finish putting all the screws in, let's just see if our repair was successful. Okay, let's, fingers crossed. Yeah, and there we go. So the reflow worked. Okay, good. So this reflow is not as good as a reboiling where you actually replace all the solder. Okay, here we've just melted all the solder down and remade the contacts. So we need to make sure that this laptop is running at the right temperatures. If it overheats again and loses contacts again, that's the end. You can't reflow it and reflow it and reflow it. You have to have it reboiled, or we're talking about a new laptop. Okay, so if you have similar problems with your DV9000, you can try and give this a go. There's always a fix.